Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. I am sitting here in my car and my car is being charged, and while I'm doing that I just decided to come talk to y'all real quick. It takes about 40 minutes for my car to charge, so if you can hear that sound, that's probably my car charging. It's not that loud, but it takes about 40 minutes, so I'm like, okay, this is a good time for me to come do this video that I've been wanting to do. And Samantha has her own new mini-series that's gonna be coming to y'all next month because she's moving to London next month, and it's gonna be tied to her being in London. So probably saw from the title, but I'm gonna be talking about Samantha moving to London next month and how I feel about it, what my reactions were, just everything I think about it. Yeah, let's get to it. So basically, me and Samantha, we we took a trip, the big Euro trip, 2.5 years ago at this point, 2 years ago at this point, and London was our first stop. It was cool for what it was. Like, I liked it. It was our first stop. I got to see like Buckingham Palace, got to see like, you know, all the little sightseeing stuff, historical stuff, but like, it definitely was like my least favorite city that we went to on our whole entire trip. Like, we went, oh well, Budapest was my least favorite place, but like besides Budapest, and even like with Budapest, even though they were extremely racist, it was still a beautiful place, you know. And like with London, I didn't really think it was that beautiful. I wasn't really feeling the vibes. It reminded me a lot of New York, and it was just like, I wasn't really feeling it. Samantha, on the other hand, she loved it from the get-go. She was like, I can see myself living here. But you know, people say that about, like, you go somewhere and you like it a lot, you're like, I can see myself living here, but it doesn't mean you're actually gonna move there, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought that was a way of her saying, like, you know, I really like this place. Like, I didn't think she was really thinking in her head like, wow, am I really gonna move to London? So fast forward to, I don't even know how long later, but when she was taking like the Cali bar and doing all that stuff, she's like, I'm either gonna go to Cali or go to London. Like, here's this London thing popping up again, and still I was just like, okay, she's just saying that, like, she's definitely gonna pick Cali. Cali's in America. I don't know. She was already taking the bar for it. Like, she was just, there were just a lot into Cali already that I just thought, okay, she's definitely gonna pick Cali. So yeah, I'm still thinking like this whole London thing is just something that she's saying, like, who's gonna actually move to another country? It's just not gonna happen. I think I started to realize like she was dead serious about it. She started asking her job about it, you know, because that was like the first, in my eyes, it was like that was the first big step she took towards like actually moving to London. So now I'm like, oh, like she's serious. Like, she asked them about it. They were getting ready to process her papers for it. Everyone approved it. She had a date, like, I'm gonna move in January. So I was like, oh, she's like dead serious about it. I don't know if this is just a Nigerian thing. I don't know if this is in Jamaican culture, but I feel like with Nigerians are very like hyperbolic people. I'll use my mom for example. She uses a lot of like exaggerated speech. That's how she expresses herself. That's how if I'm super hungry, like, it's like, I am starving right now. If it's like I'm upset, it's like, y'all are killing me. Like, you know, things are like, the words are used to express the emotion, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like I don't know if it's like this with all Jamaicans, but like with Samantha specifically, I feel like her facial expressions and body language, those are more so used to express her emotions, and her words not so much. I should have known that. So like when she's saying like, this place is so nice, I'm thinking I could live here, she literally means this place is nice, I think I can live here, and I think I can move here. Like, she's being very literal. That's why I didn't know that she was really about to move. Everyone in my personal life has been asking like, how do you feel like about her moving? I know you're devastated. How are you? David, he called me the other day and he was like, how are you coping? And honestly, so at first when she told me that she was moving and like it was getting real and like she had the date and we were starting to make plans, like when we did the whole, I don't know if we vlogged this, when we did the whole road trip for Thanksgiving, that was supposed to be our last hurrah. So I feel like when we started doing like our last hurrahs and stuff, that's when it started to hit me like, whoa, like she's really moving. And the best way I knew how to cope was to just be in denial. In my head, I'm like, until she is on that plane, really about to leave, like I see like her room packed up, she's not going anywhere. So I was just kind of in denial. I wasn't really like taking it too seriously. Like, I'm like, okay, I know she's leaving, but I'm like, maybe hopefully something happens and she don't get to go. Hopefully, like, that sounds horrible, but hopefully she could stay here where she belongs. Like, I do not want her to go all the way to London. Hopefully last minute she decides Cali instead. And even though it kind of doesn't make sense, because Cali, I wonder if Cali is the same distance from New York as London is, but like Cali is far too. So it's really just, maybe it's a psychological thing. It feels like she's closer, she's in the same country. I don't know. I told her, I was like, I do not want you to go. You're supposed to be right here in the same city as me. You're not supposed to be all the way across the world. You know, that was just kind of, I was just like in denial about it. Like, whatever, like hopefully last minute she decides I don't know, decide something else. Like I was just hoping she would change her mind. I think my feelings started to change once I went to London. So we celebrated her birthday in London and like New Year's in London. I think just like seeing her there and seeing a different London, like before we did a very touristy London. So like this time we weren't really doing like touristy stuff. We were staying like in central London. She has a family friend that lives out there, so he was kind of showing us around, and it was less of, oh, take pictures of Buckingham Palace next to the photo booth, and it felt like we were living more of the life that like she might be living. I was like, okay, I can see her happy here. Like it felt like it clicked. Like, yeah, it like reaffirmed everything, that all the reasons I couldn't see myself living there. I'm like, this is not a city for me. But it also affirmed like, yeah, I can see her here. Like I can see her really liking this like vibe. Like I can see her working here and living here. And like, even though she only wants to stay for a year, she has said like if she likes it, like she'll stay out there. And I'm like, I still can't see her staying out there forever, but let me not say that, because every time I can't see something, it ends up happening. But I was like, okay, I could see her like out here being happy, and you know, she has like some plans for herself out there. Like she wants to date out there and do all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, how are you gonna be dating these British boys? But we're out there. I was like, okay, I see some things out here that, you know, I feel like she'd be good out there in that department too. And like we met people who were out there, and like she like met, I ain't gonna put her business out there. But let's just say I think she's gonna be good in that department. So that gave me like some reassurance too. Like I think she'll be good. I can finally say I'm happy. Like I'm happy for her. I'm happy that she's gonna be in London and like gets to experience that for at least a year, who knows how long. And I'm also looking forward to what that means for me here, because I have never ever lived alone. That's another question people ask me, like, are you gonna get another roommate? No, I'm too old to be having like a stranger roommate. I'm sorry. With Samantha it works out because we're best friends, and we already was living together in New York and everything, and like we own the house together. But the next roommate I'm gonna have is gonna be my man. So for now I want to live alone, and I've never lived alone. I have a lot of siblings, and I just always was around a lot of people growing up. People would be at my house, like even when they started getting older and moving out, they would be in and out. So I was always living with somebody. My mom was always there, of course. And then in college I always had roommates, in law school I had roommates. Now I have a roommate, and I feel like I'm finally in a position in life where I don't have to have a roommate. It's not like I'm in college or at home, like you don't get to decide who lives in the house. I don't have to have one. I can afford to live on my own, and I think it'll be good just for my personal development, see what my preferences are. So I'm looking forward to living alone and just kind of seeing what that's like. I don't want to be living alone for a long time. Like I don't know, people that live alone, they say they love it. I don't envision I'm gonna be one of those people. I like to have my own space. So like I like having my own room, like in the apartment that me and Samantha had together, and the house that we have. Like I have my own space, I have my own floor basically. I have my own floor in the last apartment too, but it's still like the option is there to, if like I want to go talk to someone or like share something or whatever, someone is easily accessible. And I like that. I like that setup. I have my own space, like where I can kind of like recharge and everything, but I also have someone there I can be social with, I can invite people over, whatever. So I don't really know if I like living alone that much, but I still want to experience it. The kind of loan that we got on the house, basically we have to live there for a year. That year's up pretty soon. Like it's up, when is it up? It's up soon. So whenever that's up, I'm gonna move out and look for an apartment, and we'll start like Airbnb our house and everything, and like using it as a true investment. Until that moment, I'm just like savoring up my last few moments with like a roommate. And well, maybe, who knows too, because I could say right now like this is my last chance with a roommate, but like the way COVID is going, who knows. So the reason why Samantha hasn't moved yet is because COVID has like changed, pushed a lot of things back with this Omicron variant, and now she's leaving, you know, a month later than she planned. So who knows, maybe I shouldn't say last, because I always think something's like the last of something, and life just kind of happens where it doesn't work out that way. But I'm looking forward to living by myself for a little bit of time, maybe, hopefully only a little bit of time, but like for a little bit of time, and seeing what that's like, and seeing what I like about it and don't like about it and everything. So yeah, that's how I feel. So overall, I am happy for her. I am excited to visit her in London. Me and my mom are gonna go visit her in the summer, so I'm excited to like visit her and just kind of see like what her life is like out there. I'm excited to hear like her stories. I'm excited for her work ventures there, and like her dating ventures there, and whatever else friends she makes out there, and whatever else she wants to do out there, just like something different for her. I'm like excited to see what it brings, if she stays out there or not. I will be disappointed if she decides to live in London, but I also think it'll be kind of cool, and like my kids can go visit their London cousins, the proper London cousins. So either way, I feel like now I'm like, so long story short, to answer like the main question of the video is like how I feel about her moving. I'm excited for her, and no matter what path she chooses, I can confidently say I'm excited about it, and like I'm just excited to see what happens with her and go visit her wherever she's at. She can move to Asia and I'm gonna go be visiting her in Asia, like, you know. Luckily I have the means to do so. Luckily FaceTime is a thing, WhatsApp is a thing, so it shouldn't be like difficult to stay connected. But I am no longer in denial. I can officially say I have accepted the truth, and the truth excites me. It makes me happy. That's it. I still have, my car is 44% charged, so I probably still, it's been like what, 17-ish minutes, 16-ish minutes, so I still have quite a bit of time in this car before it's gonna be done charging. I always bring a book. So right now I am reading The Body Keeps the Score: Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. And it's by a psychiatrist, psychologist, I can't speak today, some kind of doctor, but this is what I'm reading right now. Y'all can see that. Yeah, The Body Keeps the Score. I actually saw this book on Twitter, I want to say, and I bookmarked it, and I was like, ooh, this sounds like a really good book. I didn't realize it was this thick. Whew. It's thick, the words are small. Y'all can't see that, but the words are small. It's a bit more of a read than I envisioned, but I'm excited to just like see what he has to say about trauma and how like your body remembers trauma. Before this, I was reading The Defining Decades. It's about like life in your 20s, and I was like, I guess I'm towards the end of my 20s now that I'm 28, so should I still be reading this book? But definitely, I feel like even if you're in your early 30s, it's still like worth a read. There are like lessons in there. Anyone mid 30s and below, I feel like there are lessons in there for you, so I really enjoyed that. So yeah, now I'm about to turn this off, read my book, let my car finish charging for like the next like 25 minutes that I got in here. But I hope you enjoyed this first installation of Tessie Talks and how I feel about Samantha moving to London. I'm just excited for this next chapter in our lives, next chapter with this channel. So keep supporting us, and I will see you next time.